Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. So, I've done quite a few guides on a bunch of different Warlock builds. I think I've covered almost all the Warlock builds. And then, I encountered a lot of Bonk Wizards, and I'm like, what if we made like a Bonk Warlock build? Is it viable? Does it work? So we tried it today, and we actually ran some geared kits, and it actually hits. And it may even be stronger than Bonk Wizard. But I'll leave that up to you to try and decide whether you think so. So this is what we're going to do. In order for this build to be the best that it can be, you have to be fully geared, right? But we're going to run this with this is a beginner's guide to it, right? Because I recommend trying this in normals under 25 before you go into actual geared lobbies, because you gotta learn how to play with this, because you're going to be going bonk, so you can't just like run up to somebody. You have to learn how to actually play with the playstyle. So do this in below 25s first. We're going to make a Squire kit. We're going to do the perks and skills for it. And then after that, I'm going to show you the different perks and skills that you could run for an actual geared kit, because it will be different. Because with Squire gear, you won't be able to run Hydrain. You won't have enough knowledge, at least with the build that I propose that you run. So this is going to be, just Squire only gear so far. We'll go into the skills and perks. So for both builds, this is going to entail Blow of Corruption. Next physical attack deals 10 magical damage, reduces the incoming healing by 80% of physical and magical healing for 12 seconds. And then we're also bringing Spell Memory. This Blow of Corruption scales with magical damage and scales with spell power. So the more magic damage, the more magic power, spell power, all that, the harder this hits. So this is definitely going to be extremely important in this build. So those are the two skills you're going to run. Let's get into the perks here. So for this build specifically in Squire gear, you will not be able to use Hydrain because you're not going to have enough knowledge, not enough spell memory with just Squire gear. Even if you maxed out your Squire gear and you have the best stuff you can, it's not going to work. So we're going to make this a variation. We're going to make this a Torture Mastery variation of this. And then we're going to go over, like I said, to the Hydrain version, which is the actual geared version. So for this build, obviously, both versions, you're going to run Shadow Touch. Shadow Touch deals 2 true magic damage and heals for 2 on hit. This is really good for sustain throughout the dungeon. It also adds on to your magic damage for a Blow of Corruption, so it's going to be nice. It's going to hit pretty hard. And then next up, obviously, we're going to run Torture Mastery, because you have to have some type of sustain throughout the dungeon. You could try this without Torture Mastery if you want, but it might be a lot difficult to do. Because if you've ever tried to run Warlock without Torture Mastery or Hydrain, you have to simply rely on Shadow Touch, or you have to rely on just potions to get yourself through the dungeon, and that can be kind of difficult if you're not experienced. So we're going to be running these two. As far as the rest of the perks here, we're going to be running Dark Reflection. Dark Reflection also scales with your magical damage, and then we'll also be running, because of this build, we're not going to be able to run Soul Collector, because we're going to be using Eldritch Shield, which we'll get to that, and that'll just consume Soul Collector, and it will just be pointless. So we're not going to run that. So for this, since this build in Squire gear, we're not going to have that much will, because we're kind of limited here. We're just going to run Vampirism, because this will scale with your Torture Mastery, and a lot of the gear we're running is not going to have magical healing on it, so this will kind of like make this worth it and make it work pretty well. Yeah, so those are the perks and skills we're going to run. Remember, this is just the Squire gear only. This is not the actual juicy build that you're going to be running, but you got to try it out first. So that's that. Let's go into the equipment here in the Squire. So the build that you're going to run here, because of how limited you are with just Squire gear, there wouldn't really be a point in running Will, because it's better to just run Strength, since Strength gives you more HP. Will only gives you magic resistance. It's best if you just run a straight Strength kit, just full Occultist, head to toe, and put that on. Yeah, because you're going to have a lot of strength here. The will, like I said, the magical damage is not going to scale that well, so this is going to be more of like a physical damage bonk build for the Squire gear only. As far as the gloves and the boots here, first let's check. We should probably go over to the spells here. For the spells, we're going to be running Torture Mastery, right? So we're going to bring Power of Sacrifice and Curse of Pain for Torture Mastery. You're going to be running Bolt of Darkness for the Bolt. And then you're also going to want to run Eldritch Shield, because you're going to be using this in combination with Power of Sacrifice. If you haven't seen my video, The Cursed Swordsman, check that out. That'll kind of explain in a little deeper context of how this works. Essentially, you just use the Eldritch Shield on yourself, and then you throw a Power of Sacrifice on yourself, and it gives you 15 Strength, 15 Vigor. So With the full kit, add on 15 strength on this, and you're going to be hitting extremely hard. And as far as your last spell goes, you know, let's finish up the Squire kit. I know we're bouncing back and forth, but you kind of have to when making your kit in order to see how much spell memory you have. So, you know, depending on what you want for your last spell, right? In my opinion, the only two spells you might want to run would be Spell Predation, in case you want to, you know, you run into a Cleric, you want to debuff him, or a Bard, or Bloodstain. Bloodstain may be the move with this build. So the minimum you'll need is 11. So what we can actually do here with Bloodstain is we can go back over to the Squire, and we can either just use Rawhide Gloves for 2 knowledge to get the spell memory, or we could use Occultist Boots for 2 knowledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Occultist Boots here for 2 knowledge, because that'll give us enough spell memory, and it gives us 1 will, which gives us a little bit more spell power. Make us hit just a little bit harder. Make the BOC hit a little bit harder on Bonk. And then for the gloves, you know, you could do a couple things here. If you want your staff to swing a little quicker, you could run leather gloves for the dexterity. Or if you want to do even more damage, you can run riveted. If you need more HP, you know, you can run reinforced. It kind of all depends on you. For this, I'll probably be running leather gloves for the 2 decks, because it's you want your staff to swing as quickly as you can. You want to get at least 3 hits in, because typically in Squire gear you'll probably be able to 3-tap them, but when you're actually geared you'll be able to 2-tap them. But so you want to be able to swing as quickly as you can to the staff. The magic staff swing speed's really slow. But yeah, let's get into the actual weapons you'll be running. So for the weapons you'll be running, Magic Staff, obviously. And for secondary, I actually run Cris Dagger with no shield or lantern. Just straight Cris Dagger. And this you can just have out while you're moving because of, you know, it's only -10 move speed. You know, it does little damage and it's quick, so you can heal off of Shadow Touch with this. It's really good. But yeah, this build is just going to be with the Magic Staff. One thing to keep in mind, the reason why this is so strong is the Magic Staff now has a base 15% magic penetration on it, which makes it extremely strong. So yeah, this is going to be the end of the Squire build. Let's double check our spells here to make sure. Yep, 11 out of 11, we're good to go. So we can use all these spells here. If you use Power of Sacrifice plus 15 strength, 15 vigor, that'll put you at, what, 32 strength? And it'll put you at 29 vigor, so you'll be super tanky for those 12 seconds. And then with Bloodstained Blade, the 5 weapon damage, you'll be hit really hard. And if you get that headshot, the 5 weapon damage actually scales farther than just 5 damage when you hit him in the head because of the 1.5 damage bonus. So just keep that in mind. So this is pretty much the standard Squire gear you should run before, you know, when you're first trying this out. So essentially with this build, you're just going to want to run up on people, take out your staff, use BOC, and just hit them in the face. That's essentially it. If they hit you back, they're going to take Dark Reflection damage, and you're going to be hitting really hard. And staff, you're going to be using Torture Mastery, so you're going to be casting, you know, your spells, your Curse of Pain and Bolt of Darkness. One thing to keep in mind, your Magic Staff has magical damage on it, so the magical damage increases the damage you do with your spells. The difference between magic damage and magic weapon damage is this. So Crystal Sword has magic weapon damage, which means when you swing with the Crystal Sword, it does magic weapon damage. But when you cast spells with the Magic Staff with just magic damage, it increases your spells damage. So those are the two differences between that. So yes, this is the Squire gear. Give this a shot, and then we're gonna hop into the geared version of this, and we'll see how we do. That's crazy. Bonk Warlock who's doing things today. Should we try a Bonk Warlock build? I never even thought to do that. BOC Bloodstained Magic Staff. I do have a juicy... That's a pretty juicy Magic Staff right there, right? Magical damage and physical damage bonus. If I were to do this... Let's do it. Fuck it. There's only one way to figure out if it's good or not. So let's... Occultist Tunic. Let's do... I want to be quick, so let's do Agility. Double Agility, and then let's see if we can get magical damage. Do I want it to scale with my... This is magical damage. So so let me just clarify things. So with the Magic Staff, the magic only scales with the BOC. It doesn't scale on base hit because it's magic damage. It's not magic weapon damage. But it still should scale super fucking high with BOC. Because BOC is what, 0.75? We'll do Shadow Touch probably for sustain. Because I don't think I'm bringing Torture Mastery with this. Since I'm going to probably have high magical damage. If I take Curse of Pain off, just run Bolt. Run that, and then I could run a Hydrain. I just got to get my knowledge up. We'll do these pants for Will. And then we want Strength, which should be a cheap roll. And then we also want Knowledge. 2 Strength, 1 Knowledge. We'll take it for 150. That's worth. This shit's gonna cook. We're gonna just do... It's gonna be a caster build, but with Bonk. Like, this shit could hit. Then we'll do Mystic Vestments. Oh, wait. Whoops. Mystic Vestments with Knowledge. This might be expensive. Yeah, quite a bit. Can I do it with Strength? Yikes. That's a little much. What about Agility? That's even more. Maybe I just scrap the Knowledge on Mystics and we run Strength and Action Speed? Maybe Dexterity? So I can swing quicker? Yeah, double roll. We'll do that. I'm just spitballing here, guys. We did run these Lightfoots. I'm getting carried away with this. We're definitely have to do Rawheads for Knowledge because I have to have a baseline Knowledge. Let's do with Agility. That's too much. Alright, Strength. True Fizz. If you're landing those staff hits, it's worth running Action Speed. You think so? Okay. We're gonna try and get as much Action Speed as we can. 3.5. What are we thinking? 10? I could go a Mercule Cloak. It's Memory Cap. I need 2 more Knowledge. Let's look at a static dex for Warlock. Head. I don't even remember. Okay, Shadow. I think Shadow Mask is the only thing. That's risky, though, because there's no headshot protection. So I think the move for this would be Shadow Hood with dex rolls. Because it gives strength. Action Speed kits get as many staff swings as possible, then you gotta back up because you got no defense or blocking. Yeah. We'll do Dex and a little bit more Knowledge, I think. There we go. That's what I want. I took my Strength. 17 Strength. It's a little low. Okay, I have this. I have the Hydrain. So that's covered. Do I have enough add True Magic? Might be good to run Flame Walk before running up. That might be the move as well. We'll do 2 Rings of Finesse. And then on this we'll run additional magic, which I'm only using for heals on my Hydrain. I'm just spitballing here at the moment. That puts me at 9.5% action speed. People get sticky aggro when you run up on them, so backing up with Flame Walk cooks them. Yeah. Movement speed is 99 right now. 10 move speed. I could take these off and try and find something better. So say... Oh wait, didn't I find some low boots in here? That was actually not bad. Additional move speed on them. Where did I put them? I swear I got some low boots earlier. I wish there was like a search thing so you can kind of search. Yeah, my action speed is pretty solid. Low boots, obviously, with agility. These should be so cheap, dude. Nobody actually like runs low boots. It kind of blows my mind. What's up, Rusty? double move speed roll. Low boots have been coming up with great knowledge. That's what I'm saying, bro. Look at this. 2 agility, 3 additional for 200. That shit is so cheap. This should put me over 100. Oh, it's close. It's so close. But I have even more knowledge now. So 26 knowledge, 3 will. What class you running? We're going to do Bonk Warlock right now. I think 100 move speed should be okay. I think it should be okay. It's a little on the low side, but I don't think I can do much else with this. I don't really care about the Chris Dagger. I'm just going to buy a regular one. I would avoid Frost Caverns because, yeah, I'm not doing Frost Caverns. No shot. Do I have everything I need? So I have everything. I mean, I have range. I have heal with Hydrain. Should be really good. And then my box should fucking absolutely cook. And I also have Eldritch with Power of Sacrifice to boost me up. Last perk, I'm trying to figure that out. Malice, Soul Collectors. Do I even need Soul Collectors? Because Eldritch will consume that in Blow Corruption. I don't need it, because it's not even, it's just going to be triggered by Eldritch. So I'll take that off. We'll run maybe Vampirism to scale up the flat heal on my Hydrain. Bro, what's your opinion on weed? I don't smoke it because I have a federal job, but I think if people smoke it, they can do whatever they want, you know? I'm hard against drugs, but weed's kind of like a soft drug to me. It doesn't bother me. Dark Reflection probably, because I'm going to have high will. It's going to do decent. And then... that doesn't skill with Bach. Why do you ask? Vampirism, anti-magic maybe? Run Reflect? Yeah, it'll slap. I don't really think there's anything else I could run. Like, I could just run Vampirism. That'll scale with my Hydrain 20% flat. Health gain, I might as well run Soul Collector. The thing, if I run Soul Collector, I'm going to be using Eldritch, BOC, or Power Sacrifice, and it's just going to consume on my Eldritch, and it's not even going to do anything, because it actually doesn't scale. So, like, I'd almost rather run Vampirism in Dark Reflect. Oh, shit. There he is. Look at this fucking rogue. Oh my god, that shit crazy. Let's see how far he got. He definitely went this way. Unless somebody spawned here. Where did that guy go? There it is. This is somebody else. Oh my god, big damage on him. Big damage on him. Oh my god. Yo, he ran immediately. I know, his butthole is perked after that one. Oh, he's bonked too? Oh, bonk battle. I win. I win. Oh my god. Yo. Let me not fucking throw right now. I win the bonk battle. Yo. Warlock bonk is back, boys. That indeed slaps. Crazy. He was geared too, bro. Like, he has shit. Oh my god. Those are good occultists. Chris Brown build? Yo. That's crazy. That shit's broken. Oh, he died. Hey, he went for it. Shout out to him. He almost got me. That knockback is crazy.